welcome back, viewers. I appreciate you coming back. I'm actually on a road trip, or not a road trip, but I got to drive into town. It's about 20 miles. I'm actually going to go and pick up the fuel pump for that Lincoln, or the Continental really. But also, I got a phone call a couple of days ago that a friend of mine wants to give me a Lincoln for free, so I'm going to go and check it out. So driving to town, pick up the fuel pump, give him a call, make sure he's home, and then go and check out this Lincoln. He says it's a 68, but he said it had a 400 in it, and I think it's probably a 78. But he said it's for free, so I'll take it. So I'll go and check it out. I've actually got a Mark III Continental sitting in his yard as well. He gave me Meadowlark Lemon's car. He gave me 3 Lincolns when I first started out collecting these cars. So I'm freezing cold. We're in the teens here in Arizona. Sorry about my sniffy nose. But yep, I'm driving one of my Lincolns, or one of my Continentals. So I'll flip the phone around and give you a little tour of the road. Some gas. That's the one thing bad about these cars. They drink a lot of gas. That's the Huachuca Mountains in Sierra Vista. Just on the other side of that's Mexico, so that's how far south I am. As you can see, there's still quite a bit of snow on there. It snowed on Monday night, Tuesday morning. Still a little bit of snow laying in front of my house where it's shady. Anyway, I'll turn it off. I've got traffic lights coming up and don't want to get into trouble as well. So, catch you soon. I don't usually pull up to the far pump because otherwise I'm blocked the drive-through. These things are so big, I get people blasting their horns at me, so I just pull up to the first one. Normally in my other car, my regular daily driver, I just pull up to the front pump. Well, gonna pump some gas in it and then head into town. Got about another 10 miles to go. We're nearly there, just pulling into Napa now. always at Napa. The company, I used to be a technician, and the company I worked for actually owns this Napa store as well. Most of the roads are empty. Alright, go inside and pick up my fuel pump. Okay, so I picked up my fuel pump. I'm going to give Pete a call. I'm going to go and look at that Lincoln he offered me. So, make a little road trip. I'll catch you soon. Bye. Unfortunately, I just called Pete and he's unavailable. But he told me where the car is, and I think I might be able to drive up there and take a look at it from a distance, so I might be able to zoom in. But right now I'm just driving through town. This is Sierra Vista in Cochise County, Arizona. It's quite a historic little town. Fort Huachuca's over there, which used to be Camp Huachuca, if you know all about Geronimo and all them. And Tombstone's about 15 miles from here, and a lot of history there. And where I live is not far from where Wyatt Earp actually shot Curly Bill. Up at the springs there, if you've watched the Tombstone movie, when they had that shootout on the river, it's actually a spring. My house is only a couple of miles from that area. I have not been up there yet. It is on private property now, so I should do a video of that one day. A friend of mine did do like a metal detecting thing, and they did find a lot of shell casings and stuff up there. He's actually a reenactor. But yeah, this is little Sierra Vista. Not a bad little town. I think it's about 50,000 now population. It's growing. Sorry, I got a dry throat. Anyway, I'm going to drive home. Got about another 20 miles to drive back home. But on the way home, about halfway there, in a city called Huachuca City, a little town actually, not really a city. That's where this Lincoln is sitting. I'll see if I can see it from the street and zoom in. It's at his friend's house. I know the guy, but I don't want to disturb him. Pete's 82 years old. He knows he's not going to restore all these cars. He's got about 150 cars. And he says, I know I'm never going to restore all these cars, so I don't want to crush them. I don't want the family to have to deal with them, so he's been giving me a lot of cars. Like I say, he gave me 3 Continental Mark IIIs, including Meadowlark Lemon's car. He had sitting at the junkyard. It was kind of a 3-way ownership of this junkyard. It's gone now. Desert Valley Auto Parts brought out the whole inventory and cleaned the place out. They trucked all the classic cars back up to Phoenix, which is about 185 miles away, and into Casa Grande. They had 2 yards. But anyway, I better put my phone down and concentrate on driving before I get pulled over and get a ticket. Okay, we're in a little town called Huachuca City, and this Lincoln is supposed to be at this guy's house. I know the guy very well, but I'm not going to disturb him. I'm just going to drive past and see if I can see it from the street. See if it's a 68 Lincoln or a 78 Lincoln. Pete does get a little bit confused sometimes on his dates. Hell of a character. I wish I could video record him sometime. He could write a book of the antics these guys used to get up to around here back in the 60s and 70s. There's some good laughs. We're coming up to the property now. Mike is a car house there. Put it, actually, it's a manufactured home, just had it installed there, but the car should be in his backyard. Let's see if we can spot it. I see a Lincoln there, but I don't think that's it, because Pete said it was white. Unless it's that white one and it got painted, but Pete told me it was black. Let me do a U-turn. A lot of derelict homes here. Used to be a military town, Fort Huachuca. This town was started by the officers building houses here so they could get off base. Yeah, it's getting pretty run down now. Swing around. It's a very small town, there's only a few people here. If he comes out and sees me, chat with him, but I'm not gonna call him out just to go and look at this car. I don't see it. This whole yard used to be full of cars. Pete crushed most of it. Still see a 60 Cadillac there. I think Pete's talking about that white car there. It's right behind that 60. He said it was black, but maybe they painted it white later on. Unless it's sitting behind that motorhome, but I doubt it. Anyway, yeah, I think it's that one. It's about a mid-70s Lincoln Continental town car. Oh well. We'll head home with another 10 miles to get home. Show you another, show you a nice old Mercury. It's my friend's house. He's a contractor. He works from home needs a fuel pump. I told him to drop it off at my house and I'll put the fuel pump in it because he can't figure out how to do it. He loves his Volkswagens too. He used to be in Volkswagens. Bring him out because he's actually working right now. Probably heard me pull up. He's probably wondering what the hell is he doing? He's driving off. Years ago, I actually wanted to buy this place here. Came up for sale. I think they were asking like $40,000 for this whole building. Start my own business in there. Somebody bought it and they've done nothing with it, so I don't know what's going to happen. Should inquire. I get Ryan to inquire about it because I think he knows it. All the buyers and the owners. Perfect little spot for a little business. Problem is at my house, I can run like a restoration shop, but I can't sell parts or park cars out. I've already been in trouble with the county twice. Somebody in my neighbourhood complained about all my cars in my backyard. That's why there was a big, if you've seen in some of the videos, there's a big wooden fence. Block the view from the streets. I live in the middle of nowhere, so I don't know who complained. Somebody's just jealous of my toys. I've got more toys at home. You can hear that rattle while I'm driving. It's actually a brake caliper. I've got two cars that do it. They rattle while you're driving down the road. As soon as you just touch the brake pedal, it stops. That's a caliper. If I open the window, you can probably hear that caliper rattle. See, I just tapped the brake pedal. Now that rattle's gone. Now I'm just squeaky brakes. There used to be a railway line running right through there. I don't know if you can see right there. There's an old train depot there from back in the 1800s. I went to from Fairbanks to Nogales back in the old mining days. So I live in those mountains in the back there. So I got about another 10-mile drive. Speed run. Load of cobwebs out of the old girl. Can't believe the owner of this car was going to crush it or junk it. This car runs beautiful. Unfortunately, I can't show you how fast I'm going. The speedo cable popped out of the speedo. These are a clip-in cable. When I repaired the clock, I kind of pushed the cable back into the housing correctly, and it must have popped out again. Yeah. that's kind of looking northwest. Tombstone is just, we're going to get up this hill, just over there in those lower mountains you can see in the front range there. The Tombstone is right behind there. It's about 15 miles, probably a little bit more, 15 to 20 miles that way. Should do a cruise through there. Take one of my cars and go for a cruise. Yeah, so I've got to go up in those mountains there. So, you know, driving along, I'm always looking in my mirror because somebody's following me and they're videoing me driving down the road. Because I want them to pass me because they're always on my blind spot. And I look in my mirror, yep, they got their cell phone out, they're videoing me driving down the road. It's kind of funny. Sometimes it's annoying, sometimes they will not move out of the way. I don't want to pull over into the other lane. But I can't because they're videoing me. Sunny out there, but I'm telling you, it's freezing cold. Yesterday morning it was 14 degrees. I think they said this morning was like 17 or 18. I don't get up that early. My wife has to, unfortunately. She sends me photos of the thermostat in the car. Yesterday it was 14. History buff. I enjoy my history. Actually, this is my house here. This is where I live. I'll go up the road a little bit. Show you a little history of the Southwest. This is all one huge big ranch. This whole area. It's called Sands Ranch. I'm going to go all the way up. I'm just going to show you the road. Get a bit of clearing behind these mesquite trees. Usually Border Patrol hanging around here too. There's a lot of activity here. Now, this road used to be the old road from Tombstone to Tucson. You can see it up there. It used to go up into that. There's a little pass up there. There's actually old ruins of a stage stop. And right just round the back of this little mountain here, that's where Iron Springs is, or Mescal Springs, they've changed the name. And that's where Wyatt Earp shot Curly Bill Brocious. That's probably about another 2 or 3 miles. So there's a lot of history here. A lot of mines up in these mountains. They're everywhere. There used to be a road that used to go all the way up to I-10, which is about a good 20 miles. But they must be doing some mining again, because they've gated off the back road in there. You can't get through anymore. One time we were going to drive all the way up to I-10, which is due north that way. Try and turn around. And another thing I learned was on one of the peaks of these mountains back in the 1800s, the military, the army, had a few guys posted up there, and when they saw Indians coming in, they would light a fire and warn or send a message out to Camp Huachuca back then. That's now Fort Huachuca, it's a big military base. But they would signal that there's Indians in the vicinity. And my friend that did a little archaeology with Curly Bill found a lot of other bullets where there was a skirmish with some Indians around in this area around here. I've metal detected my whole property. I found nothing. I'm trying to spot. I think I'll get back in there and do a U-turn. Don't worry about this car. Driving in the dirt and stuff. Gravel. I've been pulled over by Border Patrol here, asking me what I'm doing. I just tell them. Especially when I start talking, as you can tell I've got an accent. Where's your green card, boy? It's in my pocket. Those are two 1915 Dodgers. One's a Tourer, one's a Roadster. The 1915 was the first year when Dodge went into production. As you know, they used to make Model Ts for Ford. So the Dodge brothers started. I used to be a Mopar guy, but kind of got tired of Mopars. Just wanted something different. Into the garage. Just do a little walk around my yard. There's actually a big great horned owl up there. I've actually got 2 of them living here. They have a nest in that pine tree every year. We get little ones. And sometimes they fall out of the nest and I've got to raise them by myself. I can't leave them there. I'm supposed to leave them there, but I've got 3 dogs. The dogs have killed them before. I take them in and raise them. I've talked to the local authorities about raising them because owls are a protected raptor. At night they normally sleep in that tree, that big pine tree. can see one. I don't know if you can see it. I can. I don't think I can zoom in. Oh, I can. There's a great horned owl right there. Don't know where the other one is. I'm usually pretty good at spotting them. Yeah, there's two nests up in that pine tree. One's a natural nest, and then one time one of the babies fell out, and some group came here and put another nest up there so you could put the baby in that nest, because they keep jumping out of that nest. It's actually a milk crate up there. And the next year she did use it. She went in there and laid 3 eggs in there and had young ones. But I'm just outside. There's the car I was driving today. That's my little daily driver. Good little car. Paid $400 for that car. The Class A. I'm just out here opening the gates for the wife. Should be home soon. It's getting cold. I've got the fire lit. I've got a big wood stove in my living room. It's cold here. I'm at nearly 5,000 feet of elevation here, so that's why it gets really, really cold. It's about 10-15 degrees colder than, or cooler than Phoenix. So it's that nest. Owl's nest right there. There's a little crate. Focus. Using my cell phone. Before I open the gates. There's an old junkyard in Wichita City. They were doing a big clean up. County was on their asses too. They had to clean up and they were going to scrap these. I thought, no, I'll use them as yard art. It's a 1915 Dodge Roadster. Axle out of it. And there's a 1915 Tourer. Actually hadn't written on there because it was a junkyard they wrote on there. And the fenders had it written on what it was. Yeah. It's a bud body, so there's no wood. These are all steel. They were in a fire, and you can see it. The whole junkyard, well, I think over half the junkyard burnt down. So these cars aren't really able to be saved. But I didn't want to see them go to scrap because they were loading on a trailer for scrap. I had thought about making a rat rod out of this, but I just had to sit in my yard. I just sat a couple of wheels on them. They're not bolted to anything. This car is just sitting on blocks. When I bought this property, that's my garage over there, my house is over there. The garage was not built to house, well, there's the other L there. I'll sit there. That's the male. It's got a white chest. I've actually picked him up one time. He got caught in a thunderstorm. I had to bring him in because the dogs were ready to tear him to shreds. But yeah, that garage of mine was actually built as a little factory, a little production place. They were making jewelry. And, they would collect all these rocks. There's a lot of jasper here, a lot of other stuff too, in a whole pile. I've got more piles in the property. But there's actually a grave marker there as well. It's a military marker. I don't know if this came from Fort Huachuca. There was a woman, Elizabeth Hoffman. There's no date on it. It's pretty old. I was going to set it up and make it look like it was a little grave here. I found some of these lines. This is an old railway track from Tombstone. A piece of track I found. I made a little fake mine shaft there. Anyway, I'm just outside the gates of the wife. She'll be home soon. It's dark up here. Yeah, I know. I wanted to start a channel repairing cars, but just some people like to know, how I live, what I do. As you can tell by my accent, I'm from New Zealand. I moved here 20 years ago. People laugh at us. I'm actually a mail order husband. I met my wife Kelly on the internet. 2001. We got married in 2002. And after doing all the paperwork, I finally moved to America in 2003, so I've been here 20 years now. Had some good times, had a few bad times, but had a few more trees here. The pine beetle got into my pine trees. I'll show you. And here, my wife just bought a brand new Honda. About a month after she got it, we drove home. Monsoon thunderstorm came through. And that tree fell flat on top of her car, flattened the roof. I thought of all the cars I've got laying around here, it had to be my wife's brand new car. But they fixed it. I was surprised because it was a structural damage. But I said they were going to repair it. It's got a little Honda Civic. But yeah, last year I had another storm come through and it blew this tree. This is actually one tree, but it's got two trunks on it. It blew that tree down, took that power line out. Well, this one came down first. They took the power line out, they repaired it. I said, hey guys, while you're here, this tree's about to go because the pine beetles killed it. Why don't we just get a chainsaw out and chop it down while we're here. And they said, no, if it falls over, we'll come out and fix your power line again. Well, it did fall over. And it took that power pole out too. Snapped it. But they came out and replaced it for free. This one's actually about 10 feet taller than the one that used to be here. Because I complained, you can see where they joined it. I complained in the summertime, you know, like railway lines, the metal stretches and contracts in the summertime. This power line used to hang so low I could actually reach up and grab it. That's how low it was. And I couldn't drive my motorhome or anything through here. I do have another driveway up there, another set of gates. I can come in this way, but like with that Class A, I would have to drive it all the way around the property, come in those gates and then bring it in that way to the workshop. So they said, okay, we'll put a pole in that's about 10 feet taller and it should clear your line. Workshop. Some people think it's a house. It doesn't look like a house. This little area here used to be filled up with rocks. Like I say, this used to be like a little assembly place. Actually, they had employees working here, and the owners, the actual owners, they were an older couple. They would just travel around the country doing like the gem shows and all that, showing their wares. This house was hardly ever lived in. It was wall to wall of just gemstones and stuff like that. There must be 100 power outlets in this house where all the little spotlights used to be. It's nice here. I'd like to plant some more pine trees, make up for the ones I've lost. There used to be one right there. It came down as well. The pine beetle is just killing everything here in Arizona. That little tree there is dead too. Better chop that one down. In the summertime, it's nice here in the shade. We used to have a hammock hanging up there. This little view of my property. Hey guys, if you're watching, let me know what sort of music you like to hear in the background. I've got a taste for anything. I'll go from electronic music to country, to rock, classic rock, pop. So I'll probably just put a few different soundtracks on my videos, but let me know what sort of music you like to hear. Look, there's another owl. I spotted another owl. careful with my little poodle. They will take them. And I have 3 cats in the house. It's funny. October last year, I was selling a Cadillac, 55 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. I had a guy come in and look at it. Him and his son opened the door, and there's a feral cat and had a kitten in there. And I said, "Sorry guys, car's not for sale. Not until Mum's finished with a kitten. I'm not kicking the mum out." So I thought, oh, what am I going to do? I'm going to do something with this cat. So I set a trap and I caught them. She actually, after I disturbed her, she did move out of the Cadillac and into that little barn there. But I trapped her, and the Cadillac was sitting right here. I don't know where that Continental was that I just hauled out, and sitting right next to it. And, so I took the cat in, mama cat, after she'd weaned the kitten, and got her spayed. There's a feral cat program here. And she had a little kitten that I just fell in love with. It's not a Siamese kitten, but, or maybe it was a Siamese kitten that got a little scrambled up on the way out, because it doesn't look quite right. But it's got beautiful blue eyes. It's about 5 months old now. The dogs looking at me. They just want to follow me everywhere. I'm a cat guy. Oh, come on. She's running away. Anyway, I'll be out in the garage soon, put the fuel pump on. I'll be back with you. Bye. And she finally came back after everything calmed down. There she is, my little blue-eyed girl. She kind of got Siamese look about her, but she's a little like a scrambled egg. She came out scrambled. She's still a little skittish, because her mother was feral, and her mother... Hey, no ripping up the furniture. Her mother was wild. You couldn't get near her. I had in that addition in the house there, I had them out there. I kept her in there for about 3 months until she weaned this little girl off. She only had 1 kitten. So as soon as the kitten was weaned, hadn't both spayed, had her spayed as well. But yeah, she's a cute little kitten. Beautiful blue eyes. When I was a young kid, hey, come on, no. We always had Siamese cats. I was kind of surprised she kept those blue eyes. Her mother was a calico. You can see a little bit of calico in that tail. The tail reminds me of her mother. Sorry, it's a little dark in here. I don't have much lighting. It's a little grainy. Yeah, good girl. Her name's Aubrey. We call her Squirt because she just, like a squirt, she just flies everywhere. I'm still getting her to try and be confident in me. She does sit with me, but as soon as someone walks in the room, she's, hey, no, stop doing this. Come on. No, I'm going to trim her nails again. Here's another. There was a feral as well that showed up at the door one day. Saw my dogs hanging around my car, and I thought something's underneath the hood of my car. I opened the hood, and this little girl was there. She was totally feral, but she's totally calmed down now. Very sweet cat. And I've got another tabby around here somewhere. I don't know where she is. She's hiding somewhere. Yeah, these dogs are all rescues too. He's about 11 or 12 years old now, that Doberman, so he's still fairly fit and active. Mum is just pulling up the driveway. I can hear her. Daisy's about 6 years old. And Buddy, we rescued him, and he was an old dog when we got him. His teeth were all worn out. He's not a rock chewer. We've had him over 10 years. And he's still going, so he could be 15, 20 years old. It's unbelievable. Yeah, little Squirt's following me around now. There's my little home, there's my wood stove. Love it. It's what heats this house. It's all we need. This house is fully insulated. Ceilings are insulated. Even under the floor is insulated too. The walls are about a foot thick of insulation. See this? That is all insulation in that wall. The old man that built this place. This is actually an addition. He must have been cold-blooded. Yep. Anyway, a little history of my little animals. Some people like animals, some don't. I do. We'll try to help them out, rescue them. Toby, where's Mama? Who's that? Who's that? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? He's a good guard dog. Who is it? Who's there? If I knock on the wall, he'll start barking. Toby, who's that? Who is it? Who is it? Come. He knows Mama's home. Alright, bye-bye.